Alright, this video is going to be on how to convert units. We've been talking about ratios, and converting units is an excellent application of ratios. So suppose you have some measurement in feet and you wanted to convert it to inches, or you know how many days it is until something happens, but you want to know how many hours it's going to be until that certain thing happens. So you can use unit conversions to make those kind of changes. So in order to do unit conversions, you have to have memorized or have some kind of table or something with the different factors. How many of object A fit into object B? For example, how many feet are in 1 inch? Do you know how many feet are in 1 inch? Or how many inches are in 1 foot? So the conversion factor from feet to inches is that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. And all of the conversion factors, I've drawn the arrows one way, but they really do go both ways. You can use this conversion factor to convert feet into inches, or inches into feet. So here's some other common ones that you might already know, and that if you don't already know, you should definitely memorize. So 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. How many feet are in a mile? Maybe you know this one. 5,280 feet are in 1 mile. And so those three are distances in American or standard units for people living in the United States. And this is a metric system, so kilometers. 1 kilometer, how many meters is that? That's equal to 1,000 meters, because this metric prefix kilo means times 1,000. So some other unit conversions that you would need to know are time, like minutes, seconds, hours, months, days, years, all that. And then there's a lot also in baking or cooking, where you have cups, teaspoons, tablespoons, pints, quarts, liters, gallons, all those kind of volume units. So there's a wide range of different units that you might need to be converting, and it's not necessarily true that you have to have all these different conversion factors memorized, but it is really important that you know how to use them if you're given the factors. So if you're given a list of all the different conversion factors from cups to ounces to gallons, and then you're given a problem, you should be able to use that known information to solve the problem. So let's take a look at how you do that. So typically, when you're trying to convert from one thing to another one, and you know the conversion factor, the task comes to decide, do you multiply or do you divide? So if you know that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, and you're trying to convert yards into feet, do you multiply your number by 3 or do you divide your number by 3? So the way that you can always get it right is by showing your actual units. If you show your units, you'll cross off the stuff that cancels out, and you'll be left behind with your answers. So let me give you an example of what I mean. We want to convert 3 days into seconds. So we start by writing down 3 days. That's what we know we have. Now I'm going to multiply by my conversion factor. Do I know how many days are in a second or how many seconds are in a day? I don't have that conversion factor memorized, but I do know how to go from days to hours, and I know how to go from hours to minutes, and I know how to go from minutes to seconds. So I can do this conversion from days to seconds in 3 separate steps. In my first step, I'm going to go from days to hours. So my conversion factor between days and hours is 24 hours is 1 day. But do I divide by 24 or do I multiply by 24? And here's the trick. You have days right now, and you want days to cancel out. So if days is in the numerator here, because it's like divided by 1, you want to put 1 day in the denominator here and 24 hours in the numerator. So days is in the numerator here and denominator here, and it will cancel out. So you have to multiply to convert days to hours. Okay, the next one, I want to convert hours to minutes. Here I have hours in the numerator, so I need to put 1 hour in the denominator, and how many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes in the numerator. So again, it's multiply. And then finally, I want to convert minutes to seconds. So I know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. Now you notice, if I would have accidentally got this one flipped upside down and put the 1 minute in the top and the 60 seconds in the bottom, I would have had minutes times minutes, and the minutes would not cancel out. I would get, when you do minutes times minutes, you get minutes squared. And you know that your final answer has to be in units of seconds, because you're trying to figure out how many seconds there are. And so minutes cancel with minutes if you set it up correctly, and if you set it up incorrectly, your answer won't come out to be the right units. So now, to figure out how many seconds are in 3 days, we just multiply 3 times 24 times 60 times 60, and whatever you get, that would be your final answer. So the idea of using this units, and you're showing them both in the numerator and in the denominator to figure out which things are going to cancel, is a really powerful way to do unit conversions. And even if you don't have all the conversion factors memorized, if you're given a table of all these factors, then you can use them properly. So that's really all it boils down to, using ratios to do unit conversions, and making sure that everything cancels properly. All right, good luck.